Hello everyone, my name is JohnArmy and welcome to a mod showcase. Today I'm going to review the mod Inventory Tweaks. If you don't know what it is, it can help you sort your inventory and your chests, or the storage that you have. So, it is a GUI mod, which means that I'm going to review it in the library. So let's get in there and start with the review. So first I'm going to show you how you can sort your inventory. There are a bunch of ways to do it, but before I show you that, I'm going to show you how you can refill your stacks. So if that sounds complicated, let me explain. So you see here I have a stack of dirt, 21 pieces of dirt and 2 dirt here. So if I press all the dirt that I have in my hand, it will give me the next stack. And if I press the key for sorting inventory, which is by default R, it will give me the biggest stack that I have in my inventory and move the rest into my upper inventory. So if I want to do something like a dirt tower and I just run out of my stack, it will give me the next one. I don't need to reach to my inventory, click it and then start over. It's for a quick building. And not only, if you're for some reason dropping some items, if you ran out of your stack, it will give you the next stack of items of the same type. And when you finish that, you either have dropped it all, or you're going to continue to the next stack. Pretty simple. Next is when you have combat. So, for example, I'm fighting in the night and I have only a wooden sword, which is almost broken on 2 durability. So, I break it and it actually gave me the next sword that I have in my inventory. If you didn't see, I had 2 and it replenished the first one instantly. So you don't even waste any time. It gives it instantly and you can continue like you didn't change the sort at all. Next is the chest or storage sorting. So as you can see here, I have a ton of items which are so random and I have a bunch of options to sort them. The first is the default sorting, and that will sort them by ID. You can see 268, the next is 442 and then it goes from then on. And the next sorting type is sorting columns, which will sort them in columns. It's kind of the same, but it's a bit more confusing. And the last one is sorting in rows, which is a bit similar to the default sorting, but most of the time you're going to see yourself using the default sorting. And that is for sorting chests with random items. But if you have a chest with a bunch of items that you cannot locate all of them, for example, you have a stack of stone and you know that somewhere you have a bunch more stone, or just a few more, and you cannot see them in the chest. So if you don't have any other ways of finding them, you can just press R or Z and it will show you all of them one by one. So if I go and do this, see, it pushes it to the rest of the stone and I can see all of the stone that I have. But we aren't done with inventory tweaks. We also have some more advanced stuff. The first is how you can change the R key for the sorting inventory. Since you can hear, now I will press R and you can slightly hear a dropping sound, or a sound from a dropper or a dispenser. So if you go to options and controls and find the tab that says inventory tweaks, you can see that the inventory sorting is on R. So if I want to change it to something like G, I can do that, and if I press G, now you can hear the same click. But if I press R, no sound and nothing happens. See, R, my rotten flesh isn't back again, but if I press G, it is back. So you can change your controls like that if you want to. And the last thing is the options. When you start your world, you're going to have these 3 dots over here, and they are your inventory settings. The first of these is the repair friendly refill, which is usually off because what it does is that it replaces tools just before they break, which is something most people won't like to do, since if you saw earlier, I broke my sword and then it gave me the next one, so if it didn't break, it would actually just fill up my inventory for no reason, and that's why it's on default off. But I guess there might be some occasions where it might be helpful. Next are the shortcuts, which are just all of the controls you have, such as the R key or some more advanced, and if you press on this question mark you can see all of the controls, but on the current version some of them don't work as expected. So you can see move one stack is shift, L shift or right shift with a click. So if I want to try this, I get a chest, press L shift and boom, I get and put the stack. But I can also put multiple stacks, so if I have a ton of dirt in my inventory, a ton of stacks, I just can press with one of them, shift, left or right, double click, and all of my dirt will be here stored and nice. You also have a bunch other ways with W or the up arrow, or with the S key or the down arrow, again with the double click. You can move one item with the control keys, so if I press control it will give me the dirt on the first free space that I have. It can be whichever it is in my inventory, and that's how you do it. It can be either left control or right control. Next shortcut is the move out items of the same type, which is if you get all this dirt here, I spread it here, and let's see the shortcut again. So it's left control with left shift or right control with right shift plus click. So if I do that and press, it will instantly do it. So you have 2 options for this. You can either just hover with an item and press either shift with a double click, and that won't get rid of the items in your hotbar, but you can do the quicker hotkey, which is control, shift and click, which is much simpler, and I would recommend it. Next is the move everything, which is the click space, and this will put into your storage space all the items that you have up here. It won't drop all the items that you have in your hotbar, so don't worry about those. It will only put those that are in your inventory. The next shortcut is the move to hotbar. So if I want to move my potato mask over to the 9th slot, I can do that, and it will shift the item on that slot if there is one into the chest, and I can just cycle through this process. And I can do that for every slot, which is a pretty quick way of collecting your inventory. The next shortcut is to move to an empty slot. It is using any shortcut plus right instead of left click. So what that means is, if I use the shortcut shift, for example, and I left click, it will just put the items, which is pretty easy. So the next shortcut is to drop, which is left out or right out with click. So out and click, and it will drop it. You don't need to just press Q. So the next shortcut is craft out to inventory, which is with either shift and click. This has to do with the crafting table, and if I just want to do something but then I think, oh, I actually need these items for something else, I can just, rather than dragging all of them one by one, I can just shift, click and it will grab me of those items from that slot. And the next one is craft to inventory, which is with control and click. So if I do this and control, it will just give me one of the items in the crafting slot, which is really useful since if I have like a 29, which I would have to just do this, it could take you some time if it's something that you have to hurry. So you can just control and get it. It's much quicker and much more efficient. And the last shortcut, which doesn't work as expected, is if you just hold from 1 to 9 and you have, for example, your first slot selected and you press wherever you want to move it. So I want to press number 2 to over here, and I just press this, number 8 to here, and I can just spread my inventory like this. And if I'm done with just messing around, just press R and it will all be sorted. So the next of the options are auto refuel, which replaces broken tools and emptied stacks, which I showed you already. And the middle click allows you to sort using the middle click of your mouse. These options here are to help you with some stuff if you want to. And we also have more options. But note that on PvP servers, the auto refill and auto equip armor can be considered cheating, since you're getting an advantage from other players, and you can get banned for that. So keep that in mind if you're playing PvP with inventory tweaks on. So the rest of the options are enable sound switches. If you want to disable this sound from sorting your inventory, you can see now I sorted, but there isn't any kind of sound. And that is how to disable your sound there. So the next option is auto equip armor, which will equip you the best armor available, but right now I've tried working with it, but it doesn't really work. So if you know what is the best armor for you, well, you can just choose that. And from the combat update of 1.9, you can actually see the armor points that a piece of armor has. So you can see here I have 2 armor toughness and 3 armor on a diamond helmet, and it does work for other mods, as you can see here. So it's not really necessary, but you can put it on if you want to. The next option is sort on pickup, which would avoid filling the hotbar with items you pick up, but I haven't really figured it out, so don't quote me on that. If you want to see more info for that, I guess you can open the help in browser and that will show you it. Since I have searched in there, but I haven't really found any information about this. Next are the chest buttons, which are these buttons over here. Now they are disabled, but if I just put them on, boom, they're back. The next one is the server item movement, which enables using server assistant for item moving while sortment, which most of the time would be disabled, since servers might consider that for cheating, and even if you have this off, it might just put your items back into place. So just keep this in mind when you're using this feature on servers. And these are all the options, and that's about it for inventory tweaks. So thank you everyone so much for watching. If this helped you out and you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. And if you're new here and want to see more content from me, subscribe. And as always guys, I'll see you later. Bye bye. this, in my opinion, is pretty funny. Just the popping sound with this awkward smile face is, for some reason, pretty funny for me. Yeah.